Hey, welcome back to an empty table. No, just kidding. You've all been waiting patiently. I appreciate you. And without further ado, this is what we have here today. A box, but there's something very special inside the box. Before I go on, this pistol that's in this box, I did acquire from Derya. They let me retain it, keep it, after I did some instructional videos for them, in which later on I will be creating a link, and I'll be sharing those videos with you all. They're very bland, but they're very straight to the point and detailed videos that apparently they're going to use for instruction purposes on their website or whatever they choose to do with it. That being said, moving on. In the box, Derya, you saw my shorts, so I think you know what it is. But now let's open up the box. And there she is. We have a Derya Melik, and it is not any longer the way it was when I received it. Let me pull it out of the box, and we will get right into it. There's the beauty. Okay, I had to make a list of notes because I didn't want to forget anything, or at least forget as little as possible. But I'm going to get right into the pistol. But first, let me show you her. She is a beauty, and she is not as I received her. And we'll go through all the specifications shortly. What changes I made. There was no functional shortcomings. These are just personal preferences. This is what I wanted to do, what I envision, what my purposes are going to be for this pistol. They got the nice little Melik engraved right into the wood right over the diamond. There was no reason to change these. They're absolutely beautiful. The base pistol's very beautiful. What you see is they have this, it's like an anodizing. And the anodizing over here was blotchy. I don't know why, but it was very spotty and blotchy. So what I ended up doing was brushing the aluminum and giving a slight. It's not really a high polish job. It might look a little more high polished on camera, but it's like a semi gloss, a semi sheen. Anyway, bottom line is this right now, as it stands, I have converted it over to a decocker. So I'm going to start off by clearing the pistol before I go any further, for any of the people out there that are concerned about such things, which we all should be. So I'm going to drop my magazine, in which I have a nice nickel-plated magazine. Isn't that nice? We can get into that later on. Put that aside. Now I am going to rack the action. We are clear. We are clear. Now, I will decock it and let it go. Ooh, look at that. Goes right back up. We're ready to go. So this now will always function first shot, double action, unless I pre-stage it in single action. Right back to decock. And there you have it. Ready to go at all times. Okay. So now, let's go over it. The slide modifications. On the slide, I'm going to start off with the extractor. I installed a Beretta extractor and a Wilson Combat Extra Power Chrome Silicone spring. I feel that the edge on the extractor is a little more durable on the Beretta unit. And of course, you can't beat the chrome silicone extra power springs, and that's an area you have to beef up and be aware of. Did it function? Sure, it did, but it's just a little extra insurance. And if you can make it a little bit better, that's cheap insurance. Why not do it? The other thing is, let me see. All right, I have a Beretta G conversion decocker kit that I installed on it. As you can see right here now. You bring down your lever, and it goes right back up, nice and smooth. It's ambidextrous, as you can see. Left or right-handed. Very fluid. And I'm going to tell you all right now, it went in very nicely. Let me pop the slide off real quick. It went in smoothly, except there was a little adjustment right on the back of the decocker. Let me see if I can get close. Let me get a pointer. I get a toothpick and point out. Maybe I can see. Right back in this area where the back of the decocker would rub on the frame just a little bit. Let's get focus. Okay, right over in this area. I had to take this out. I test fit it and it was fine, but then once I actually put all the springs in, it tightened up, and then I had to pull it out again, and I had to relieve a little along this edge on the part, never file on the frame, and then it was fine, and it went right in. So that is perfect. Now, as you can see, the decocker is perfect. So any of you that want to convert these, because these are 1-to-1 clones of a Beretta 92 FS, and you can see that because it has the safety stop right here, just in case your slide would happen to fictionally fly off like the military did. So they're shooting plus P rounds, and they completely abuse the pistol beyond its design specifications. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, it's got the groove in it, and it's got the stop built into it, the oversized hammer pin to stop that from coming off if that ever happened. So it's a 92 FS design. So there you go. So you get your decocker. And basically, the biggest thing with this is, the biggest trick is when you get the ambi safety switch back on this side of the handle, I should say, there's like a little coil spring, and you have to place that in. Then you have to like kind of get it behind the detent that's on this side, and then you have to kind of magically, you have to get something that's non-marking, and you have to compress down. You have to compress down. Let me see if I can get my toothpick again. You have to compress that detent down while popping this back in, and you have to align. There's like a little hole that goes into the back of this handle, so that creates your grabbing spring tension. But we can't really get into that. That's too involved. But it's pretty straightforward. I think pretty much anyone should be able to do it. But the bottom line is, anyone who wants a decocker, yes, they do work in here. Now, moving on, you see the barrel. This is a Beretta Inox barrel. I actually got it on Midway USA. I think it was like $165. Then I paid extra shipping for it. I'll pull it out. I'll show you. It's a whole Beretta unit. Complete Beretta unit. There's your P for Petro Beretta right there. And as you can see, to match the finish on the pistol frame more, to give it more of a, authentic look. Nice polished feed ramp. I did polish and throw the chamber too. And I took like a green pad and a red pad, and I very carefully went around and I created like a brushed texture, and then I took some baking soda as a medium to kill the glare down. It had a little bit of a glare to it, so this is like a satin finish on it right now. So it's very nice, and it's very, very even. Focus. But it's a really nice unit. The only difference between the actual Melik barrel and this one is the Beretta feed ramp is a little steeper. So when I was feeding inert rounds through it, you could see the way it did dive up more, and the nose wanted to hit the top of the barrel hood. But they did feed in, and then I ramped it and I polished it, and it was fine. But what I am going to do, standard Beretta recoil spring is 13 pounds. I'm going to put a 16 pound in so I get better into battery. And the only way that could ever be a problem is if you're shooting, weak loads or something like that. And this is always these little plunger blocks always get stuck in the back. Now, come on, go down, get down there. Okay, that's fine. So now we covered that. Now, so this, for the moment, is a stock recoil spring. I'm going to go to a 16 pound just because I usually use a 16 or an 18 pound because I like that positive you know, in the battery, and I also like it to soften the recoil a little bit for quicker follow-up shots. This is a stainless guide rod, and believe it or not, I took it out of my Beretta 92 AFD. I have like a very early 90s, late 80s Beretta 92 AFD, and the guide rods are exactly the same. They're completely interchangeable, so I thought it looked better on this pistol, so I put it in there for aesthetic reasons. The frame over here, there's your hammer. You have a Beretta match skeletonized hammer. That's right, I said match hammer. And I also have the Beretta Performance trigger bar, short reset trigger bar, I should say. And I have what was a competition single action only trigger, but I milled the back off, and now it's double single, so a DASA. So you have your double action and single action. This has a beautiful, crisp break, short reset. It's spectacular. And also, the hammer spring was replaced with a 14-pound hammer spring, and I put a flat hammer spring cap on it. Got rid of the lanyard loop on it. I also added some nice grip screws, because I hate when you have the flathead ones and you can't get them straight in line with the grip. It just drives me crazy. That's me being you know, a little anal, but that's just, it is what it is. Another thing that I want to clarify and verify for everyone is, for anyone that's a lefty that wants to change this safety over to the other side, yes, I did it. Unless you drop it in exactly the right way, it's a pain in the ass. And I'm not too proud to admit that it took me about 20 minutes to get it back in, even though the first time I did it, it dropped right in. Then the second time, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. And then I just sat there fiddling with it, and I just got frustrated, and I actually had to put it down and go back, and then I popped it back in. But there's plenty of videos on it online. You can check it out. But yes, it absolutely is reversible. Boom, it just does. It's perfect. So you can set it up for the lefty people, for whoever's left-handed. Now, what I'm going to do now is there anything else that I forgot about this? New hammer spring, 14-pound, match hammer, skeletonized, match trigger bar, and we got a match, they call it a vertical serrated trigger, and you can see the serrates on it, and it's nice and wide to get a nice purchase on it. So let's put her back together again, and we'll see where we stand, and we'll take a couple of trigger pulls on it. So let me put my trusty popsicle stick over here. Let's put her back together. Okay, that's in. There you go. Get in there. Don't want to let it go, because you know what'll happen then. All right. Okay. Okay, we'll decock. And let me grab my trigger pull gauge, and then we will get some weights on it and see where we stand. All right, before I get into the trigger pulls, a couple of minor details that I forgot to tell you that I also did or added to the pistol, just reviewing my notes. I do also have, for the trigger return spring, a Langdon Tactical return spring on that, a beefier spring. It's stock weight, but it's just a better quality spring. Let me see. What else? Got all that. I think that just about covers it. That's about it as far as that goes. All right, well, on to the trigger pull. Okay, we are cocked. We are ready. We have our gauge, our trusty Wheeler gauge. And we are set at 0 ounces. So let's give it a pull. And we will see what we get. Just about 3.5 pounds on single action. Just about 3.5 pounds. Try that one more time. Let's reset the gauge. This is exactly where your finger would be on this trigger. There you go. Come on, baby, focus. There you go. 3.5 pounds right on the dot. Beautiful. Now the double action, of course, I'll demonstrate the double action. It's a nice smooth pull, but I would say it's probably on the high. This only goes to 8 pounds, but it's going to have to be on the higher side. Let me give this a shot and see what I can get out of it. I haven't tried that because I don't believe in doing the double action pulls as long as it's smooth. Okay, it's hard to even get a hold of this. Yeah, it's with this, I can't even, I'm off the scale with it. I can't get a good hold of it. So that's why I say, you can see it's a nice smooth follow through. And then of course, your single action will show you the break and I'll show you the reset. Okay. Here you go, ready? We'll give it a rack. Show you the reset. Now watch my finger. That's it. It's at the wall right now. It's reset. It's at the wall. Tactile and audible. And then it breaks. Let's do that again. Reset. Break. It's absolutely butter. Beautiful pistol. Of course, decock. Reset. Break. That's beautiful. I'll tell you, these pistols are spectacular pistols. I love the build quality on them. And, you know, people are going to ask me, well, how much money did you put into all those parts? Well, first remember that I do a lot of this because I want to do, I want to prove certain theories. A lot of people are asking me, well, will the Beretta slide fit? Will the Beretta barrel fit? Will the G converter decocker kit fit? Well, you know, that all takes time and money to figure all that out because you got to source out the parts, you got to source out the time, you got to sit down, you got to make it work, and there's always 99% of the time, maybe not, maybe it's like 75% of the time, there's always some kind of fitting involved. But the only real fitting I had when I did any of this work to this pistol was, like I said, on the decocker, and of course that went right, just come on. Toothpick wants to fall in the only crevice in the table because I need it right now, right? The only real, if you want to call it machining or modifying, was right back here on this area. Because it was just rubbing over here a little bit on the inside of the frame. And you always stop by modifying the less expensive part. Don't ever grind on your frame. Don't ever do that. I don't care what it is. Don't modify the pistol. Modify the part. That's just, if you screw it up, you screwed up a $50, you know, safety lever. Big deal, you know. But look, it's nice and fluid now. And then I just touch it up with some cold blue or some Aluma Black, and people are going to say, Aluma Black won't color metal. Yeah, it will. If it's a forest metal, it'll take to it. It'll take to it. But if it's stainless, you can forget it. It won't take the stainless. But it's very fluid. The G decocker works perfectly. I got a 3.5 pound trigger pull on single action. A real nice, crisp trigger break on double action. It's beautiful and fluid all the way down the line. I can't complain. This is beautiful. So let me see. I'll try to run down a price list. Matter of fact, I happen to have some paperwork over here. For those of you that want to know, I'll try to let you know ahead of time so you can just watch the video. Oh, that's about the extra magazines that I bought. And of course, I had to get, you know, stainless magazine to go with it. But, you know, you gotta. Why? Because I gotta. And I've got 2 more on the way, and I'll tell you all about those. Okay, the grip screw set was like the Allen grip screws, $6.65 a piece. And I do get a small military discount. I think they give me 10%. Anybody can get it. This is from Midwest Gun Works. I did buy a new firing pin, a Beretta firing pin, because it's always good to have an extra. Didn't put it in yet, but that's 1033. Let's see, extractor pin. That's an extra extractor pin for later on, $4.99. Didn't put it in. Let me stick to what I put in it right now. The screws, 665. Let me see. The conversion kit, the decocker conversion kit, 5225. What else? And that's all on that one right there. Oh yeah, in the barrel. The barrel was, before shipping, I believe it was $165 for the inox barrel, but it is a gorgeous barrel. It's got really nice, I don't know, is it going to show up? It's got a nice Beretta crown. You can see it's recessed there a little bit. The crown is definitely better on this barrel, and the rifling's a little bit sharper on the barrel, and it's a stainless barrel. And these barrels are known to be very accurate. I can't wait to get out to the range and actually test this one out. So yeah, another $165 for the barrel, and then I went overboard in the shipping because I don't trust USPS as far as I can throw them nowadays. You order something and you have it shipped even priority, you might get it a month later nowadays. They've been horrible. So I've been paying for ground, UPS ground. That was $20. So I got they call it a next day air, but it actually took it was a business day, so it took them like a day and a half, 2 days to get it there. But still, I had it in a decent order so I could get the whole pistol together. So you can imagine the logistics of it, getting the pistol, doing what I had to do for Derya, which thank you very much, Derya. Thank you very much, Dennis, the man. He's the man over there at Derya in Jacksonville. Very nice guy, very accommodating, and they have a very, very bright future ahead of them. And I just want to say thank you for reaching out to me and basically believing in me and taking an interest in what I do. That means a lot more than anything. That being said, yeah, so $165 for the barrel, and the hammer was like $40. The match hammer was like $45, I believe, for the match hammer. So, I put a couple extra $100 into it, but you all know that this particular pistol, even if you paid whatever you paid for it, and you put these upgrades into it, people are going to say, well, why would you just buy a Beretta? Because if you bought the base Beretta, it's not going to be much better than one of these stock. There are certain things that will be, but dollar for dollar wise, pound for pound wise, you can't beat these pistols bone stock, because you're going to pay twice as much for a Beretta. And then if you took the Beretta to bring it up to this specs, to what I did to this pistol, you're going to be that much more deeper into it. So if you bought this pistol and you put $200 or $300 into it in some of your time, well, you might be close to what a stock like 92 FS is going to cost you, but you're going to have something that's far better. And people are going to say resale value, this, that, and the other thing. Well, what I care about is what I'm going to get out of the pistol. Is it the pistol what I want? Is it going to perform the way I want? Is it going to have the quality that I want? And I don't want basically to get a pistol that's ready baked, and they're going to say, here's your pistol from Beretta. Oh, thank you. I bought the name. I feel really good about myself. I can sleep good at night now. But in the same time, if that's what you're into, more power to you. But I'm into the end result, and I don't want to pay $700 for a pistol and then have to do a trigger job, have to put a better barrel in it, have to put a match hammer in it to get the actual performance out of I want. If I'm buying a big name like that, as far as I'm concerned, there's no excuse why they shouldn't have it set up like that in the first place. But that's just me. Now, before I close this one out, I will show you the magazine that I got. Now, these magazines, they're kind of funny. Let me make it nice and shiny for you. There's a story behind this magazine. This is a Metgar, and it was originally 15 rounds. Now, I looked for 17 or 18 round stainless steel magazines, couldn't find them. Couldn't find them for the life of me. So this came and this had a dimple. This was dimpled off. It doesn't have that big dimple down here like an M9 mag. As a matter of fact, I will show you an example for comparison. This is a USGI M9 magazine. You see how the bottom is? It's got this big... There's no way, I mean, I suppose you could take that up, but that would be a pain in the ass, and it would just be like a window. But I wouldn't bother, especially not with a... I mean, it's a checkmate, but this is one of the checkmates that were made in the good years when they corrected their problems. That's another story for another day. So right over here, it just had like a little crimp on each side, literally. So what I did is I put it on my drill press, patted the drill press, and then I drilled into it. Then I took an end mill and I slowly end milled it out until I ovaled it and got rid of all of that indentation and interference. And of course I had the magazine disassembled when I did this completely. And then I took a flat file on the inside, and this is of a stainless material because the inside is, they say it's nickel plated, but I believe it's just stainless steel. Because the inside, when I cut through, everything was the same. And so there was a little bit of burring on the inside, so I flat filed it. Then I took right down to like a 400 grit sandpaper until it was baby smooth. And that's fine. So now it holds 17 rounds, no problem. Just like the stock Act Mags that came with it, Act Mags. So yeah, this actually holds 17 rounds now. So I got a 17 rounder in the pistol. And hey, it matches. So what can I say, you know? So look at, I hope you all enjoyed this. If you have any questions, if you want to see anything else with the pistol, by all means, just ask, and I will try to accommodate you the best I can. And if you already haven't, please like and subscribe and thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up and share the video to anybody you think it might be interested, or just enjoy the entertainment, or if they want to learn something about the pistol. It's really, in my opinion, I don't care about all these new pistols. I mean, you see what's happening right now with the M17. What's that, the SIG 320? What's going on with that right now? That was a big mistake on the side of the military, and right now the chickens are coming home to roost on that one. But nevertheless, please like and subscribe, and that's it. That's it. That's all I got for you right now. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And thanks again for watching. I appreciate you all. Bye-bye now.